Hey friends, welcome back to the homestead. We have a short break before the rains come. They're moving in this morning pretty quick. Should be like severe thunderstorms basically all day. I wanted to get out real quick while I had a chance. You can see this elderberry tree that we have is finally ripe enough that they're nice and sweet. We're missing a lot of berries because the birds have been getting at them, which is another reason why I'm out here today, in that I wanted to harvest what we have, because last year when we visited our local farmers market here in town, Rachel had bought, actually 2 years ago, she had bought a bottle of elderberry syrup from a lady. And every time Rachel started feeling sick, she would take a teaspoon of it in the morning, maybe one at lunchtime, maybe one in the evening, and whatever it was that she had going on, it would knock it right out of her. Next year we went back to buy some more because she was out, and all the lady had was elderberry tincture. That's since been consumed and it is gone now. And we have some elderberries here on property, so we thought it would be a fun little video to do with you guys, to harvest some of these berries and show you how to make an elderberry tincture. It's pretty darn easy. We do have another tree back a little ways in our food forest area. This is like the edge of our food forest. It borders from like where our tree area section is, where we're going to be planting more food, and our front lawn area. These are almost too ripe. They're starting to fall off when I pick them. If you don't have access to fresh elderberries, you can use dried elderberries. You can buy them online on Amazon. You can get like bags of them dried. You see most of the birds have gotten a lot of the berries, but they're perfectly ripe now. They fall right off. Nice and sweet. I've seen some people that'll harvest and it'll be just massive hanging with these giant berries. These ones are pretty small. A nice big one there. Some of the little berries are still green, but that's okay. We just won't harvest from that section. So if you can't get enough in one picking or one harvest, like our other tree that's back a little farther, it's really shaded, so those ones aren't as ripe as these ones. You can always just toss these in the freezer just like this until you get enough of them, and once they're frozen, the little berries will fall off a lot easier. We're gonna go back and check the other tree. We'll see if some of them are ripe. So well, here's the results of our harvest. I'm not sure what we're gonna end up with for a quantity when all of these are plucked off. But we'll take what we get and move on. A lot of the tree right behind me, the second tree we checked, those ones are going to be ready for a couple more days, and there's a lot more berries on there, so we can always make another batch of this. It's, you know, the most time-consuming part about the entire process is picking them off the stems. It can be made easier, like I mentioned before, if you freeze them first. If you freeze them, it kind of breaks down the cell structure that holds them onto the stem, and they'll break off a little easier. Some people will also use a fork, like a dinner fork that you would eat with, and you kind of brush them like you would with a comb, and that kind of plucks them off as well. A few little green ones in there. I'm sure a couple ain't gonna hurt, but I'll try to pick out the majority of them. It feels like the whole eating an elephant one bite at a time, one little tiny berry at a time. If you're thinking about making yourself some elderberry tincture And you've heard what I've had to say about it and what Rachel, the benefits that Rachel has seen from it. Don't take that just as the gospel and that's the law and this is what this stuff does. Do your own research on it. That's half of the fun in learning these old skills, is to who came up with this? Why does it work? What are the benefits? What are the hazards? Are there things I need to worry about? Spend some time, research it on your own, and then make your own decision on how you're going to make it and how much you're going to consume, what type of dosages you're going to use. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm just a homesteader guy. That other tree that we have another tree way in the back of our property on our fence row. Those ones are right out in the open, they're right out in the sun, and the birds consume them before they even turn purple. Once they're green and they become little berries, the birds just come and strip them. Well, that's what we ended up with. Not a very significant amount. If you put them in a flat pan like this, as you harvest them, if you shake them back and forth, all the lightest materials like the stems, little pieces of leaves, stuff like that will rise up to the top and you can identify it easier and get it out. There's even a couple little spider webs in there. Won't hurt anything. So I'm going to take these in the house and toss them into a colander and rinse them off really good under some water. And then we'll finish this up. The winds are picking up. I think the storm is moving in. We'll get this assembled and then you begin the process of waiting. So tinctures in general are made two different ways. One by using alcohol. You want at least 40% alcohol in whatever solution you use. Most people use vodka, some brandy, some bourbon. So you want at least 40%. 50% is a little better. We have 40% alcohol today, which is 80 proof. That's what we're going to use. You need some type of a container to store it in, preferably glass with a lid. Preferably not a metal lid. We're going to use a plastic lid today. And what you do is, and I encourage you to do some research on your own on this, is by soaking your material in the vodka, it extracts a lot of the beneficial properties of that fruit into the vodka. You let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks. Some people let it sit even for 6 months. You strain it off, and that juice that you're left behind with is your tincture. So we're going to, hopefully I don't spill all these. This was a lot of work. I can't imagine harvesting enough elderberries to make wine, elderberry wine, which is supposed to be very, very good. But that would take a lot of elderberries. Oh. One thing that I'm going to do is, as I pour them into the jar, I'm going to smash them using our pickle. Oh yeah, that's nice and purple. Our pickle packer. Oh, that's some nice juice. Once I get them all in there, it would be hard to smash the entire thing. So as I put some in, I'll smash them as I go. Some people said we'll use a potato masher. Some people even put them in a blender. We do have another tincture that we've started about a month ago using at our cabin. We get these plants that grow there that are called Indian pipes or ghost flowers. It's got a number of different names for it. And we get a lot of them growing at our cabin, so we harvested a small amount the last time we were up there, and we have some sitting in our cupboard right now. A few more weeks or maybe a month from now, it should be ready to try. If that one does, so I've done a lot of reading on that one in particular. If that one does what everybody says it's supposed to do, we're going to be doing another video on that one at some point. But again, I encourage strongly encourage you guys to do your own research on this stuff. Learn about it. That's half the fun, is learning the old ways that people used to do things and why they would do it, and what do you need to worry about? What is there to not worry about? What are the real benefits? There's so much medicine out there in nature. Wow. But if nobody ever learns about it, no one's ever going to do it again. It's all smashed up, ready to go. It's about as simple as it gets. We have some 40 proof or 40% alcohol vodka. It's been in the freezer. It's why the bottle looks kind of weird. We'll fill this up till we get about 1 inch of head space at the top. We'll put our lid on. Shake it up. And what you're going to want to do now is put this in a cupboard, probably in your kitchen, somewhere dark, and leave it sit. Leave it sit for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. Do your own research. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it. When you think it's ready, or cold and flu season is here and I really need it, take this out of your cupboard, strain it through a coffee filter so that you end up with just the liquid, and that's going to be what you consume. I have never seen a bee or a hornet, or I don't know what that thing is. Okay, he's gone. That thing was like this long and it was the brightest yellow. That was not a yellow jacket. I don't know what that thing was. He was almost as big around as my finger, this long, bright yellow, and some kind of a hornet of some sort. Wow. So where was I? So strain this off. Most people will store it in like a little brown bottle and keep it in your fridge. When Rachel would use it, she would take a little eyedropper and put like five drops under her tongue. Some people say use a teaspoon, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once at night before you go to bed. Every time you get in whatever cabinet it is that we have this stored in, just give it a little shake, stick it back in the cabinet. So once again, I encourage you to go out and learn something about tinctures. Do some reading. There's all kinds of beneficial things that can be taken from nature, infused into a tincture using alcohol or vegetable glycerin. Some people don't want the alcohol aspect of it. You can use vegetable glycerin. I've never done it. I don't know if there's benefits of one over the other. We will keep you posted on the progress of this. Once it's done and you strain this off so that you end up with just pure tincture and you store it in your refrigerator, it can last 1 to 2 years. So if you're one of those people that don't get sick very often, this could last you quite a while. As always, thanks for joining, guys. Thank you for your support. See you on the next one.